Hello everybody, Mr. Pilgrim here, coming at you with the 7th video in our Platinum Trophy Guide for Ender Magnolia Bloom in the Mist. In the last video we'd gone through the last two areas that we can for now in the lower stratum, that is the subterranean waterway found right here just below the old city. And then we have a connecting piece right over here, the final disposal site, as you'll see. Pretty much. But now we can access the elevator found just here, which we're going to head and do now. So if you come back through like you're gonna go fight Yulvan and all that, you can come up here and proceed through this area to find the attuners here. And now we have access to the central stratum. Here we go. Now once we do reach the central stratum, you'll then get your next trophy for reaching it, of course, obviously. Once we load, we can only go one way for now. But just over here to the left is our next save point. And just up ahead is our first boss of the video. Alright, now one thing before we proceed and take on the next boss is I would highly suggest that you have the protective carapace on, the one we got before. If you aren't moving and hit R2 to dodge, instead you'll do a perfect guard, similar to using your R1. But once ready, we can now proceed forward and take on Gilroy. As you'll see right here. It's just a very patient game, as you'll see. But you'll slowly chip away at his posture. It really does trivialize this fight a lot. Now, it's kind of hard to see because he's in a corner here. But this is what it looks like, as you'll see. Once he's defeated, though, he's not truly defeated and will run away like a little scaredy cat. But here you'll get the ability to use attuner arts and get your next trophy. Basically, when you fill up a gauge, depending on which L2 that you use, as you'll see. Oh, I shouldn't be standing next to that. But you'll be able to hold L2 and then pick whatever of your abilities you want to basically upgrade them. Now here you'll see we have the ability to enhance our relics, and that will get us our next trophy, which I'll go over a really good spot on how to get scrap right now. And then also here we have the craftery, like I said. The material and scrap are a little bit different. Like I said, one is for crafting and the other is for enhancing. But for right now, a good area that you can go back to is the Magicite mine, right for where you fought Garm in the Floral Cavern. I'm going to show this off right now. So basically all you're going to do is just run into enemies here, and as you'll see, there you go, and that'll get you your scrap. Pretty simple. Then return to respite. As you'll see, you can just do this as much as you want. Specifically, you have to return to reset, otherwise trying to do it won't allow you to do it anymore. Now eventually you will start getting diminishing returns, I'll say, but you can also gain a relic that will give more yield per doing this. So that's pretty much what that is. So just keep that in mind. So we're going to come back here to the central stratum and get our third trophy of this video. Like I said, for upgrading. Like I said, you can upgrade any of them that you need. But I'm going to go for, I'll probably just say, what's a cheap one? I'll just go for the more XP. But upon doing so, that'll get you your next trophy, like I said. And here we can move on. We have a few areas that we can interact with. Nothing too crazy right now in this upper area here, as it's locked. But we have basically two paths that will eventually go. Forgive me for the yawn. But here off to the left, as you'll see, we have another set of stairs we can take. But before we do that, there's also these two here who made it all the way back up to Central Stratum. They'll give us a gift, of course. The Mantle of Millis, a new coat. That is always nice. Who doesn't like some good fashion? But from here, we'll enter here. And here we have basically a couple of things to do. So we have two areas that we can go off to now, the left or to the right, depending on what you want to do. I say it's probably best to go off to the left first, so that's what we're going to do. There we are. Find a charmed fragment. And here we can take this little lift and head to the next area. And this will take us to the Magic Academy, where they research and study all kinds of cool things. And everything deals so much more damage, because who doesn't love that? I'm joking, it's always nice. As you'll see though, there's a few things that are unique to this area, as you'll see right here. There we go. But basically a few puzzles that aren't going to stop us from progressing. Talk to this guy, who apparently knows us. Interesting. Anyways, from here we'll head on up, once again. From here, follow this up again. Trying to remember, where does this go? Okay. There we go. Grab this material. Excuse me. Kind of a little cheat area, I would say. But you have this area here that will take you all the way back up top. It's quite confusing and quite daunting, I'd say. As you'll see. But from here we can head off to the left, have a little cutscene here. This person will ask us to save 6 of her students, and we'll have our next little save area. And then we can proceed forward from here. Now from this rest we're going to continue forward. Now for the most part for this area I'm going to show you how to actually try and progress through it which will include some of the fights and enemies just because it's a lot larger of an area. Like I said, this is the area where you're going to have to find some of these students and in the next couple of areas. So if we actually come up here, as you'll see, there's one right there. So what we'll do is continue forward, and then you'll come up here, do a dash, hop up to here, come over to here, and here you'll find the first student. That's 1 out of 6. Now from here, for the most part, it's a very windy and confusing area, like I said. So for the most part, I'd highly recommend just trying to go as straight as you can to clear as much of this little upper area as you'll see, like I'm doing. Just double checking and making sure that we've gotten most of the area discovered for the most part, like I said. You can basically just follow this all the way around until you get to over here. As you'll see with most of the sorcerer enemies, you can more or less wait and dodge their attacks. They do have 3, an ice, a lightning, and a fire. But from here, basically, now we're going to backtrack and stay on this lower section. And then we'll head down here. As you'll see, there's a couple of little areas that we will interact with. As you'll see over here, there's a door we can eventually unlock. As you'll see, this area does kind of stack on itself. So for now, we're just going to take this bottom portal to come over here. We'll open up this door, come over here to open up this door, which will then allow us this elevator. We're not going to take it up just yet. We'll take this little warp up to here, as you'll see. This warp just heads back, so we'll then take this one up. Now from here, you'll have this little elevator shaft that you'll fall down to open up this secondary door. Then we'll have this secondary door to open up, as you'll see. Just clear out all of the enemies for the most part. There we go. It's probably the best way to try and go about it. As you'll see, we now have just a bunch of random stuff. Take this warp up. There we go. Then we'll take this one up, which basically just brings us right back to where we were. So then we'll take this one over, which takes us to the top over here, which is a little bit interesting. So then we'll warp over. We'll open up this little door here. Like I said, it's a lot. So then once we get this all taken care of, we'll take this warp up again. We'll just use that reflexive dodge. Then from here, we're going to follow this path up. Take this teleporter. As you'll see, they more or less end up in the same kind of spot. Open up the door above us. Drop back down. We're going to come back over. Take this warp back up. So now when you're heading through this portal, you want to make sure that you don't take the second one. Take care of this guy. Now we can open up both of these doors here. Here we have our second student to save. There we go. And I believe that's pretty much all we can really do in this area right now. There's a few things that we'll have to unlock later on, so just keep that in mind. Like I said, it's a very, very confusing, long, elaborate area. But before we proceed, we're going to head all the way back to the start, like I said. And then we're going to head down these stairs into this area we unlocked. Breaking all these containers will get us some materials, and we'll have a chest here we can open up. So now we're then going to proceed back through to the shaft and then head down. Like I said, it's a large area. It's a lot easier to come back and explore later on. So like I said, we're going to drop down here and then come off to the left. Take this elevator down. And we'll be at our next little area to explore. Okay, so this room is a little bit tricky for the most part. Now, how I like to run this is you just run the bottom first. You'll come all the way to this back corner over here. Then you'll have 2 enemies here to take care of. Pretty straightforward. They're the guys who stand still and just fire lasers. We have a few notes to grab while we're in this area, so we'll quickly do that. As you'll see, we'll then come back over here and activate this button. Come pick up this note here. Then hop up on top of this device. We'll basically just be following these around for the most part, as you'll see. We'll hop over here, hop on up. There we go. Follow this one all the way over. Let this one come down. Now we'll quickly come here to grab this note, but as you'll see, we can come over here and lower this one. And then take it all the way up. There we go. For a grimoire. Take this back to the craftery. Then we'll come over here, activate this one. We'll take this one all the way up. Get a new item. Now, first and foremost, we'll want to take this elevator up. As you'll see, it then unlocks a shortcut through all of these little areas. Except for that one that I missed. Anyways, before we proceed forward, if we come back down, we then have this little area right here, which, as you'll see, will activate this little one, this little door, which will then let us come up into this room here, where we'll meet an interesting and important character that we need. But obviously, I'm going to skip the cutscene, just make sure, and then we can move on. So then we're going to drop back down, and I'm going to check out this little area here real quick. Alright, so as of now, there's only this item to grab here, a charmed fragment. As you'll see, the area proceeding forward is partially blocked. So instead, I'm going to skip back up to the top. Alright, so once you're back up top, we can now proceed forward. And here, as you'll see, we have our next little save. So even if you didn't get that secondary shortcut door unlocked, that's fine. As you'll see, we now have a few new relics. The sorcerer's gauntlet. Status effects are inflicted on enemies by 25%. And then we have deal 25% more damage when you have a status effect, which is a little bit niche. But then from here, we're going to proceed forward. And we have our next boss fight. So once you're ready, we can take this boss on. Basically, it's a combination of of all of the sorcerer type enemies that we've built and dealt with. As you'll see though, it's not too hard. I'm just doing really, really bad. There we go. I don't know why I'm letting that play out. But once that is done, we can then move on, as we're not quite done with this area just yet. Alright, so now heading forward, there's a few little side stuff to deal with. As you'll see, you have some of these little areas here. That doesn't really do much for us, but we can come up here and quickly grab this materials. See if we can't get anything on the other side. Nope. Alright, so now we're gonna head all the way back down. As you'll see, we'll now be on the other side of the room we were just in. So from here, we're just going to hop up, come over here, continue forward for the most part, like I said. You'll come over here, you'll come here, and then you'll have to do a ground pound to get down here. Then you'll have to use this little portal to build up momentum until you bring out Haughty to break the wall right here, then proceed forward. Here, we're going to grab this magic vial. There we go. Open up this chest for an unidentified amplifier upgrades. So from here we pretty much have a one-way ticket to go, and it's pretty much forward. So as you're climbing up each of these little areas, you'll then come over here to the right and pull a lever to unlock the next section, so on and so on and so on, as you'll see, for the most part. Then you can finally come on up. Here we'll get our next survivor, or student I should say. Then from here we're going to drop all the way down. That was pretty close. We'll get this shortcut door here, and as you'll see, then this will just basically take us all the way back up. Then we'll just continue forward. We'll grab this item here, which is just some scrap. As you'll see though, we can't proceed any more forward than we already are. So then now, what to do? So for me, what I'll try and do is just climb all the way up. So it's a very specific spot, as you'll see. And if done properly, it doesn't do much now, but more or less you're just trying to get as much distance as you can. Let's see if I can get it. But we'll come over here and then try and climb up. Alright, so like I said, now we're going to try and climb all the way up here. We'll use these grapple points. Be careful not to hit these very specific teleports, and then we can unlock this shortcut door here, and then take this teleporter up to this upper area here. Alright, so off to the left here, you're going to activate this lever. Then off to the right here, you'll activate this one. Now from here, I'm going to show you what the room will normally look like. That way you have an idea. So now you'll hop back onto the left one. And here, as you'll see, we can now hop up onto this. From here, you're going to jump up into the center. And off to the left here is a very specific sequence you're going to have to do to come over here and grab this item. A new carapace, which is always nice. Now we don't want to have to take the elevator back, so we'll quickly do some unique parkouring. How I find it best to do it is just to have the area you're trying to go next to, you try and dash right or as close to it as you can get, more or less. But from here we're going to come on up and have our next save point, and we're going to have the last boss of this video, which is always nice. So here we can look at that carapace. So depending, you can use this to ensure that you you can greatly recharge your SP gauge, which is what's used for your ultimate abilities. But you have to be very close on your timing. But once ready, we can then proceed and take on the next boss. Once ready, you'll proceed forward, and we'll take on the next boss, Lucic, the Iron-Blooded Witch. Or, sorry, not Iron-Blooded, just Iron Witch. As you can see, she has a variety of elemental and some physical attacks. It's sometimes best to dodge the first attack, and then use that to get the second. At about a third of the HP gone, she will then start summoning bots to heal her. There we go. At about a third, she'll start using more abilities. She'll also mix up fast and slow moving lightning. As you'll see, definitely becomes a timing game for sure. Because I didn't have my parry up. But there we go. We'll finally get her defeated. And gain her, and gain our next trophy. Basically, she's a new ability that you can just hold down and attack similar to... pardon me. As you'll see, similar to Yolvan. Just holding it down will activate it. Let's see, can we enhance anything? We'll enhance the scythe. And I'll probably equip that, because that's probably my favorite move overall. Like I said, you can swap and pick and choose your abilities. As you'll see, here's the scythe. Looks pretty clean. But anyways, that has been Mr. Pilgrim. Hopefully this guide was helpful or informative in any way, shape, or form on how to navigate through the area and get your next trophy. As always though, I'll see you all in the next video.